dog is 15 years old and he's really been going downhill this last year, especially in the last few months. How do I know when it's time to say goodbye? Wow, that is a really tough question, and it's probably one of the most difficult decisions you'll ever have to make. Throughout the years, I've seen a lot of owners have to make that decision in very sudden and emotional situations. It's not something that can ever be undone, so you want to feel really comfortable that that's the right thing to do. If there's any doubt or hesitation or little voice saying not yet, then don't do it. Wait until you're sure that it's time. In the end, aging and illness are out of our control, but our greatest priority is our pet's quality of life. If your pet is not eating for prolonged periods of time, in pain that cannot be controlled, or becoming reclusive and not wanting to interact with the family, those are signs that we're having issues with quality of life. Sometimes it can be confusing if they're having mostly bad days, but then a good day now and then. So one thing that can be helpful is just to begin to keep a journal of their day, a quality of life journal, and even a numerical score on a scale of 1 to 10 for my pet, how good was today as far as comfort, pain, illness, enjoyment. And as the days go by, that can help you keep track of the trends. Are things getting progressively worse? Am I having these thoughts every day? That can be a helpful way to track and gauge quality of life. And I can tell you, I recently went through this exact same thing with my own dog. Sometimes the decision is too hard to make yourself, and that's exactly what happened to me. I knew I wouldn't be able to make that decision, and so I asked people that I trusted and I knew loved her just as much as I did to be her advocate and to make the decision of when it was time. You know yourself and you know your pet. If it's a decision that you can't make yourself, it's not wrong to ask a friend or family member that you really trust and that you know has your interests and your pet's best interests in mind to help you make that decision. There are a lot of different beliefs regarding euthanasia, but I thought that I would offer my perspective, because as an emergency vet, you always want to save everybody. But there are certain situations when you realize that it's not the right thing to do for every patient. There are situations where that pet is going to have to undergo a lot of suffering, and in the end, their quality of life will probably not be acceptable. And so as a veterinarian, if there's truly not much left that I can do to make a patient comfortable or to alleviate their suffering, in those situations, euthanasia is a way for veterinarian to help their patients not suffer anymore. Where this procedure is performed at our clinic, it's so gentle and peaceful that truly I don't think it's anything to be afraid of if the circumstances require it. At any time, the owners have the option to be present or not be present. And at our hospital, I find that most owners are present with their pets during the procedure. We administer medications that alleviate anxiety and pain. The procedure involves inducing anesthesia the same way that we would for a healthy pet undergoing surgery, and then essentially administering an overdose of anesthetics. So these patients will typically very peacefully fall asleep. I can't tell you how many times people have told me that losing their pet was the hardest thing that they ever went through. It's normal to experience a range of emotions, everything from guilt, blame, anger, disbelief, denial, sadness, confusion, and fear before finally reaching a state of acceptance, and it can take a very, very long time, and that's all completely normal. But the most important thing to remember is how much love you have for your pet and how devoted you have been to them for their whole life. So just know that you're not alone. This is something every pet owner has to go through eventually, and even veterinarians have to go through it with our own pets too. And as much as we have to deal with end-of-life issues as part of our job, that going through it with our own pets is just as hard as it is for everybody else. So please know you're not alone. And I want you to know that there are a lot of resources to help pet owners go through pet loss. I've listed some resources below. If you ever need somebody to talk to, there are support groups for this, and there are pet loss counselors. And all of these resources can be very helpful when you're going through these difficult times. So I hope that helps to answer your question. I'm so sorry you're having to go through this, and we're just sending all of our love, wishing you all the best. Good luck and hang in there, and just know that whatever decision you're making from a place of love. We all support you and respect your decision. Take care.